How are you guys doing? Today is Tuesday, April 5th, 2022. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to do a championship profile for the 2021-2022 Kansas Jayhawks men's basketball team, as they had an incredible season from beginning to end. Even from the beginning, many people saw them as contenders, favorites to even make it this far. They made it this far. They were the only one seed to make it through the Sweet 16 round. And they were the only one seed to make it through every single subsequent round. And they were able to win every single game. They were the only team out of the 68 teams in the tournament that was able to win the 6 games in front of them, as they are going to be the team that takes home the trophy. This is the 4th time that Kansas has won the March Madness tournament. They won it for the first time in 1952. They won it in 1988. They won their third in 2008, the first one that happened in my lifetime. They would then go on to win their second one this year, the second in the Bill Self era, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, taking a look at how Kansas was able to win here in Bill Self's 19th season. They were able to finish this season winning the Big 12 tournament with a 9-point win over Texas Tech. So they were already hanging up a banner in that stadium regardless in Allen Fieldhouse. They would go on to finish their regular season tied with Baylor for the best regular season record. So they were co-regular season champs in that season as well, as they were led by Ochai Agbaji, their senior from Kansas City, Missouri, averaging nearly 19 points a game. He went on to be the Big 12 Player of the Year this year, to help lead them into the tournament. Their very first matchup in this tournament would be up against the 16-seed Texas Southern Tigers. Texas Southern, of course, coming into this tournament after winning They would go on to win their tournament in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and they would go on to win their play-in game versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi by 9 to make it in this round. In this first round game, Kansas would beat the 16 seed from within the Midwestern region, Texas Southern, in Fort Worth, Texas. Kansas won this game 83-56 after they outscored Texas Southern by 28 in the first half. They were outscored by 1 in the second half, but they were up 47-19 at the break. In this matchup, they were led in scoring by their guard off the bench from Burbank, California, Remy Martin. He would go on to finish with 15 points and 2 steals in 21 minutes. He shot 6 for 8 from the field. He made his only 3-pointer, and he shot 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Kansas's starting guard, their junior from Burlington, Kansas, Christian Brown, will go on to finish with 14 points. He also added 5 rebounds in 31 minutes. He shot 5 for 12 from the field and 4 for 5 from 3. Kansas's starting guard, DeJuan Harris Jr., their sophomore from Columbia, Missouri, where Mizzou is, would finish with 12 points and 2 steals in 29 minutes. He shot 5 for 6 from the field and made both of his 3-pointers. Kansas's starting forward, Jalen Wilson, their sophomore from Denton, Texas, will go on to finish with 11 points and 6 rebounds in 20 minutes. He shot 5 for 9 from the field. Their starting guard, their senior, the Big 12 Player of the Year, Ochai Agbaji from Kansas City, will go on to finish with 11 points himself in this first round matchup. He would also go on to finish with 6 rebounds and 5 turnovers in the 33 minutes he played. He shot 5 for 14 from the field, and he would make one of his 5 threes. With this win, Kansas would go on to the second round while still in Fort Worth, Texas. They would face off against the 9-seed Creighton Blue Jays. This would come after Creighton won their first matchup against 8-seed San Diego State by 3 points. In the second matchup, the Jayhawks would beat the 9-seed Blue Jays by 7. They won it 79-72. After Kansas was only up by 1 at the half, they would outscore Creighton by 6 in the second half. And in this matchup, they were led in scoring by their guard off the bench, their senior from Burbank, Remy Martin. Remy Martin would finish with 20 points in the second round matchup alongside 7 rebounds in 29 minutes. He shot 7 for 14 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, as he made all 4 of his free throws. Off in their starting lineup, their senior from Kansas City, Ochai Agbaji, would finish with 15 points. He would also go on to finish with 8 rebounds and 2 steals steals in 34 minutes. The 21-22 Big 12 Player of the Year shot 5 for 14 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, and 4 for 5 from the free throw line in the second round game. Kansas's forward from Texas, Jalen Wilson, finished with a double-double. He had 14 points and 14 rebounds in 32 minutes. He shot 5 for 14 from the field and made all 4 of his free throws. Their starting guard, Christian Braun, out of Kansas, the hometown boy, will go on to finish with 13 points and 8 rebounds in 38 minutes. He shot 5 for 9 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, and he made both of his free throws. With this win, the top seed Kansas Jayhawks would advance to their second weekend in the tournament. This weekend would be in Chicago. They would face off against the highest seed in the Midwest that they would play against in the Sweet 16, as they played against the 4th seed Providence Friars out of the Big East after Providence beat 12 seed Richmond in the second round. Kansas would beat 4 seed Providence by 6. They won at 66-61. This came after they outscored Providence by 9, 26-17 in the first half. On the winning end of this matchup, Kansas would be led in scoring by their senior guard off the bench, Remy Martin, out of Burbank, California. This game, he finished with 23 points alongside 7 rebounds in 27 minutes. He shot 7 for 13 from the field and 8 for 13 from the free throw line. Kansas' starting forward out of Texas, Jalen Wilson, finished with 16 points and 11 rebounds in 38 minutes. He shot 5 for 16 from the field as he made all 5 of his free throws. With this win, Kansas would be halfway through the tournament. In their fourth matchup, in their second weekend, they would go on and play their Elite 8 matchup against the 10-seed Miami Hurricanes out of the ACC. This came after Miami won their Sweet 16 game against 11-seed Iowa State. They won that game by 14. Kansas would go on to beat Miami by 26. After they were trailing by 6 in the first half, they went on to outscore Miami 47-15, more than tripling their second half output. They would go on to be led in scoring in this game by their starting senior out of Kansas City, Ochai Agbaji. He finished with 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals in 34 minutes. He shot 8 for 12 from the field. He made both of his threes as well. Kansas's starting forward, David McCormick, their senior out of Norfolk, Virginia, would finish with 15 points in 18 minutes. He shot 6 for 7 from the field, and he made 3 of his 4 free throws. Kansas's starting guard from the state, Christian Braun, would finish with 12 points and 6 rebounds in 35 minutes. He shot 4 for 9 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, and he made 3 of his 5 free throws. With this win, Kansas would go on they would go to the Final Four, where they would face off against this year's Big East champions, the Villanova Wildcats, who would come out of the South after beating 5-seed Houston by 6 in the Elite 8. Kansas would go on to beat 2-seed Villanova by 16. They won it 81-65 after outscoring Villanova by 11 in the first half. In this Final Four matchup, their 5th matchup of the tournament, they would be led in scoring by their starting forward from Virginia, David McCormick. He finished with 25 points and 9 rebounds in 29 minutes. He shot 10 for 12 from the field and 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Their starting guard out of Kansas City, Ochai Agbaji, the Big 12 Player of the Year, finished with 21 points in 36 minutes. He shot 6 for 8 from the field as all of his made field goals came from 3. He was 6 for 7 from 3. He was 3 for 4 from the foul line as well. Kansas' starting forward out of Denton, Texas, Jalen Wilson, finished with 11 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists in 37 minutes. He shot 4 for 11 from the field and made both of his free throws. Christian Braun, their starting guard out of Burlington, finished with 10 points and 5 assists in 33 minutes. He shot 4 for 8 from the field. With this win, the Jayhawks would advance to the national championship game, where they would face off against the 8-seed North Carolina Tar Heels. Of course, this game would be in New Orleans after North Carolina had beaten their all-time rival Duke in that Final Four matchup after Duke came out of the West. But this would be after UNC beat Duke by 4 in the Final Four. In the national championship game, Kansas would go on to beat North Carolina by 3 points. They would go on to win it 72-69 after they were trailing by 16 points in the second half. UNC did go on a 16-0 run, and they would go into the half leading 40-25. Kansas would outscore North Carolina 47-29 by 18 points in the second half to come from behind and pull off one of the biggest, if not the biggest, comeback win in national championship history to beat North Carolina by 3 and win their 4th championship in their school's history. Kansas would beat North Carolina 72-69, and in this championship game, they would be led in scoring by their forward duo of Jalen Wilson out of Texas and David McCormack out of Virginia. Jalen Wilson would finish with 15 points in 34 minutes. He shot 5 for 13 from the field, and he made all 4 of his free throws, as he also shot 1 for 5 from 3. David McCormack out of Virginia finished with 15 points and 10 rebounds in the championship game in 29 minutes. He shot 7 for 15 from the field and made 1 of his 2 free throws. Their starting guard out of Burlington, Kansas, Christian Brown, would play all 40 minutes of this game, the only player for Kansas to do so. He would finish with 12 points and 12 rebounds in 40 minutes. He shot 6 for 14 from the field on the night. Their starting guard, the Big 12 Player of the Year, Ochai Agbaji, would finish with 12 points in 37 minutes as he finished shooting 4 for 9 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, and 3 for 8 from the foul line. And of course, off the bench from Kansas, their senior out of Burbank, California, Remy Martin, would finish with 14 points in 21 minutes. He shot 5 for 9 from the field and 4 for 6 from 3. Of course, this is an incredible run from Kansas as they finished their season with a 34-6 record and their second championship in the 21st century. And of course, congratulations to the Tar Heels for making it this far in what was Hubert Davis's first season with North Carolina being their head coach. And this is Bill Self's second championship now that he's been there for nearly 2 decades. Congratulations to him in this program. It's been a long time coming. And this Kansas Jayhawks team, many people should have seen from the very beginning, but now people see them at the end. Now, I want to thank everyone for listening to all 12 minutes of this piece. I want to thank the ESPN and NCAA websites. And once all of this is done, I can't wait to come back with college basketball at the end of this calendar year. But of course, we have other sports to tend to. I want to thank everyone for following along with each round as we navigate through this world of sports one day at a time. By the time you listen to this, it'll be way after the time that I'm actually recording this. I mean, it's taken a long time to get there, but I do want you all to look back at this moment as a pretty wild time, as the moment that Kansas won their 4th championship. And hopefully I can't wait to see if they make a run for going back to back. I want to thank everyone once again. I hope all is well, and I will catch you with more tomorrow. And I guess for right now, like the message I go out on is that the Big 12 might be the basketball conference right now, with Kansas and Baylor being the last 2 champions. And with that said, I want to thank everyone for listening. I hope all is well, and I will catch you with more tomorrow once everything is done today. Thanks for listening. I hope all is well, and peace out.